I'm saying my feelings, so you have to be now responsible for them because I've told you what they are.
Yeah.
And it's like, no. Nobody is responsible for your feelings
or
but
how you feel. Yeah, but you.
Now, the respect comes when somebody acknowledges how you feel and you get to share because you have two completely different perspectives.
Exactly. And it's, when someone is withholding information, very emotional information, and you're on the receiving end of their projection, and this is one of the things that is really, really hard to accept and understand, is that if someone is withholding pain but is operating from that pain silently and is projecting that pain at you, and the pattern of behavior, their pattern of behavior is all based on that pain, and they're expecting you to understand, you to support them, and be the responsible one in the relationship, the one to communicate, when they're not communicating, when you have no idea of the pain that they're going through, and you are doing your best, your damnedest to support them and understand them, but you have no point of reference for what they're actually going through because they're not communicating.
Right.
They're only just silently projecting at you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The relationship or the connection, the friendship can go sideways so fast when they suddenly reveal their pain, and they use it to basically beat you over the head to try and make you responsible for their situation.
Mm-hmm.
Because suddenly it's being revealed that there's this pain that is the main focal point for this person's emotional story.
Mm-hmm.
And their shadow and their ego has been projecting at you for, days, months, years even.
Right.
It can cause you to act in certain ways and to do certain things that you would not normally do because the projection is so heavy.
Yeah. And it's also that one person could be trying to figure out what that is, right? Like you don't actually know.
Exactly.
But that's the thing, is that if somebody isn't going to communicate like with you about what it is that they're feeling, you got to let it go that you can't figure it out, because you're not going to get it.
Yes.
You're not going to get it unless they say something. And the thing is too, is that even when they do say something, you still are not responsible for their feelings. And I still feel that that's a huge thing, especially in the spiritual community, is that there's people that, that have been oppressed. I mean, women have been like told to sit down and shut up,
Yep.
To put it bluntly, for a lot of things, that we don't believe women when they've been assaulted and things like that. But it's still not our place, when we do speak up, to have others wanting to be responsible for how we're feeling. That's not the point.
Exactly.
Of actually speaking up and talking about things.
Exactly.
You have to be emotionally responsible for your own feelings, your own energy, what you're putting out into the world, no matter what's happened to you.
Yeah. Exactly. And if someone is expecting you to act according to their set rules without actually understanding what their rules are.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh yeah, because I've been on the receiving end of that, and so have you, where people are like, have ideas about what a friendship should be or a relationship should be, but they don't communicate that.
But they're not communicating.
And then they get mad at you.
Yeah.
Because you're not following the rules of this relationship, except you have no idea what they are.
Oh yeah, or they change the rules where suddenly their behavior changes and they're not communicating, and you ask and they don't respond and they don't communicate with you, and their behavior changes, but they expect you to like toe the line and hop to their demands, and it's like, but you don't know what's going on.
Yeah, exactly.
And you're like flying blind, and you're on the receiving end of this huge projection of someone else's behavior, and as much as you may love that person, it gets extremely difficult to maintain a healthy, balanced connection when you're being projected at someone and someone isn't communicating. And someone isn't actually understanding. And this is the thing, people think that they're communicators and that they believe in open communication and real communication, but unless they're actually aware of their programming, unless they're actually aware of their egos and shadows, and what their stories do to them, and
Mm-hmm.
how they convince themselves of the goodness in them without even looking at their shadow or their own patterns or their judgments or the anger that they are holding on to about again, a painful situation that they're not communicating about, that is actually the main reason why they're in your life, kind of thing, because they were looking for a connection and someone to just talk to, and then all of a sudden they lose their shit because
Yeah.
you're not, you're actually trying to support them, but
Mm-hmm.
they don't want the support. They want the drama of their projection.